This is the first big red and white. I've hand quilted it and machine pieced it, and it's Japanese ladies in a Jacob's ladder. I love this Japanese print. John's holding the quilt up for me. Aren't they beautiful? It's a big quilt. It's about 70 inches square, which is my favorite size to make. All reds, all different reds. Particularly like red and whites. With this block, they are 12.5-inch blocks, and 2.5-inch squares are my favorite to make a Jacob's ladder. I did have a period of making Jacob's ladder quilts. It was 10 years I made Jacob's ladder quilts. So beautiful. I seem to have 10 years of making designs on my quilts. The first one was the log cabins. My first quilt, although my first quilt I made when I was 19, and it was a hexagon quilt that I found in a magazine. And this is my Jacob's ladder period. It was so fun. I had so many squares cut out. And then I found fabrics that I really like, so I put them into the quilts as pieces. This beautiful red and white was made with some swaps. I was in swaps, swapping hexagon flowers, 2016, 17, with my friends, probably 15 too, in America and all over the world really, UK, Europe, and they sent me red flowers also, and I sent them flowers, and it's hand quilted. And in this quilt, I hand quilted a labyrinth. Starts in the middle and goes right out to the edge. We'll talk a bit more about this one. This is a closer look at the flowers, and this quilt I called Field of Flanders, and I named it in honor of my grandfather, who was in the First World War and went to Europe from Australia. And yeah, every flower is quilted, hand quilted. And in red, I quilted the labyrinth that goes all the way from the edge. All the flowers are different. There's 128 different flowers. Even the dark ones are red, even though they look really dark. There's poppies. I had this one in the Quilters Guild show in Sydney. Some of my big quilts are for the quilt show. 2017, I'd finished making it. It took me 800 hours to make this quilt. A lot of sewing, a lot of hand sewing, and I hand quilted it in my lap, how I do all my quilts. And I put the border on first, the binding, and then quilt it. My stitches aren't small quilting stitches, they are what we call big stitch quilting. And I do it in pearl cotton, and this is the back. I love the back too. It sort of has a Spanish vibe going. Yeah, a lot of my friends like this quilt. It's an heirloom.